Hi guys, welcome back to If the Gap Exists with Daphne.
And with Senna, it was almost a repeat of Austria, almost a very
Mm,
boring race.
almost, very almost.
Yeah, I think I was texting you about halfway through the race saying I don't
Mhm.
even know what we're going to talk about this time, but
Right?
as always, Silverstone provides. So yeah,
Something.
ended
Lap
up being
30 brought us something interesting from there on. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like we go from like Hamilton penalty, which was on top of his head the whole time.
Mhm.
We had people crashing out, Mercedes breaking down again.
Again.
So let's start from the top.
Yeah,
Hamilton penalty.
the penalty, I didn't even realize it until I think after the second lap is when they brought that up. And I was like, wait, what? Like, what are they saying? I found it like entertaining that he was still able to make up. Most often 5 seconds, especially with a race where there's a one stop, he was able to make up for it and still come back to the top. But even then, I realized that, obviously Antonelli was at the start. He was pole, but then the Ferraris got a very good start. Both Morgan Charles and then Lewis, and Lewis was also holding it down because he kept them behind a lot from Antonelli to Russell to Max and allowed Leclerc to have that distance amongst them. But then the penalty really threw me off. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the letter of the law, so a penalty is a penalty. It was a really weird one because he stopped, he completely stopped before the lights went out. So it's
Mhm.
almost as if I don't know if his foot slipped off the brake or something because
Yeah,
he rolled the tiniest bit, stopped, and then started again when the lights actually went out. So it's not like he started early and went for it.
yeah.
He just
Hmm.
rolled a little, but I guess it was enough to trigger whatever sensors. So it was fair enough. And I mean, like you said, Hamilton started off pretty well, though. He kept Antonelli behind him for a long time. I
Yeah.
think the way Antonelli passed him kind of just highlights the issue I have with these new regulations, where it's
The
so easy
base.
to pass someone if
Yeah,
you just wait until their electrical energy is done, which is
it's
a bit.
down. Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't
How
feel
they
like
wait for it
actual
to
racing,
recharge.
but
Mm.
I guess that's what racing is in 2026. So I have to suck it up, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I get you. If sometimes it's to people's advantage, well, for others, it's not really. And the fact that you have to wait for it to recharge and all that, it can be a bit frustrating, especially when you need more power. We've had a few times where Lewis is requesting for more power and he's not getting it and it's been to his disadvantage. So I know what you mean. To every rule or stuff like that, there's always the downside and then the upside. So yeah,
Yeah.
it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I personally felt the penalty was a bit, too much. As you mentioned, he didn't start and then move with it. Like, he still stopped before the light actually went off and went. So I didn't, but again, as you said, the sensors detected it and yeah,
Yeah.
a penalty is a penalty.
I mean,
So
I don't know if he moved outside of the box, but I guess that's beside the point at this point. So,
it is what it is. He still made up for it. I thought after he got the penalty with the projection of it having just one stop, it was kind of gonna like mess up his race. I mean, it did a bit, but it still put him on the like he didn't lose any podium. So hats off to whatever they did, and
yeah, I mean, he
that's that.
he ended up losing second place, but that's a whole
But that's not
Ferrari
even
thing,
from that
and
at
we'll,
all.
yeah,
So
we'll
that
get into
comes
that
from
later.
another reason that honestly I don't even want. I don't think. Remember yesterday I talked about how I don't even want to do this because I cannot believe we'll get there. But yeah, anyway, I also want to talk about PSG. I don't know. It's not just like a McLaren issue, but I feel like ever since 2025, I don't know if it's some sort of willpower he's lost on them, but it's like 2026, I've not seen any action from him. He's
Yeah,
just going
well, I
under the
think
radar.
I think certain rules and regulations seem to benefit certain drivers more than others. I mean, you can look at the whole ground effect era.
Mm,
Hamilton was nowhere for, what was it, 4 years, 5 years? He was literally nowhere. Everyone questioned his ability because of it. But then when that's gone, he seems back to his best again. And then you can look
yeah.
at Leclerc and be like, Leclerc, I mean, Ferrari never gave him a great car in that period, but Leclerc never looked bad. But then this season, Leclerc's struggling. So maybe it's just a similar thing where Piastri was a lot more comfortable in the ground effect era,
No,
and
but then
now
I mean, even with
he's struggling.
Leclerc, I don't know the few like times where he's had the crash, just a few little things. Like he's still like we're seeing stuff from him, even though when it's bad, like we can still tell that he's in the mix. Even Norris, we are seeing him in the mix, but I feel like I don't know what's going on with Piastri. He came into 2026 with I don't know, but I really do like him, and I was expecting that after the season he had last year, he would be in that mix of some sort. Now it's just about the Ferraris, the Mercedes, the McLarens, and the Red Bulls. I feel like even the Red Bulls, I mean, the McLarens were doing fairly better than them. Norris keeps like, putting them on their 10 toes from the battles with Max, even Hajar. But it's like with Piastri, he's just reporting for work, cruising through, and then, yeah, I'm out of here. And there's always an issue with the McLaren car. I feel like every race, we have something of that sort. And I don't know.
Yeah, and one thing that this new regulations has also caused is if you get any kind of damage on your front wing, you're literally finished. That's it. Because
Yeah,
obviously, back in the past, if you damage your front wing, you'll come in, you'll change it. It still will hurt your race a lot. But now it takes so long for them to even change the wing because of the active aero. So you end up so far behind everyone else, you can't really recover it. Whereas in the past, you might be able to recover it to some extent. So yeah, first lap incidents, you just have to stay away because otherwise that's literally you done. There's no coming back from it, which I guess
yeah,
we saw with Piastri.
yeah, I feel you. And I was gonna say that I think yesterday while we were watching, I was trying to take like, my pointers and stuff. And I noted that, this is the first time in a race where we've only had one car n- being out of the race. And as soon as I finished writing that, then the whole Kimi thing happened. We had three cars out, or three or four. I was like, are we ever going to have a race where all the cars actually get to finish, all 22 finish, and there's no a matter of 22 starting, but 22 actually finish it at least one race. There's always something, either it's a suspension issue, battery issue, yeah, front wing, a rear. Like, it's always something. And this season, there's been a lot. Not to say other seasons, there've not been a few of those. However, it's been the norm for every race this season.
Yeah, maybe at the end of the season when like, all the cars' reliability is a lot better. Who knows? But I mean, I was saying earlier on in this season that I think just seeing an Aston Martin finish a race is a win already. So
Hmm. Hmm.
they're doing that. I know Williams have been having a bunch of issues. I feel like Cadillac have never finished with two, but I'm probably wrong.
But I think they did this race, didn't they?
Did they?
Yes, they did.
If that happened, that definitely went under the radar for me.
They did. Alonso also finished, which was a shocker to me. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah, so maybe at the end of the season, who knows? But then,
Eh,
as I always say, I think the Mercedes are going to do well. I think the Mercedes engine are going to do this or going to do that. And every single week, you tell me, oh no, you don't trust the Mercedes. They keep breaking down. And every single week, you seem to be proving me wrong. Yet
I don't know.
again, Mercedes issues.
I think it started even with, like, not even just, there's always something with them. How Max, Lewis, and then George, mainly George and then Max, then George and Lewis were fighting, like, to overtake, because they had, like, four tenths, nine tenths between the three of them. And then all we hear is, George had like
Yeah,
a slope,
rear
a slope.
puncture. Yeah,
Yeah, and I was like, what? Like, where did that come from? Out of
On-
nowhere.
only God knows.
And
Honestly, the Mercedes
he had
always
to pay.
destroys itself.
I was like, wait, what? Then he has to like get out of the mix, uh, and then now it has to, like, Lewis has to battle with Max. It took a long time. He overtook George Kim, not into the forward, but he was able to recover some places. And then you see, you
Actually,
know,
George only recovered places because Verstappen ended up in the wall. So that's a whole
well, that's
different
another
thing.
thing. To be fair, cool. But then at the end of the day, he recovered the places, but, like, he didn't pass Max. Max crashed, and then he was able to overtake that. But he still recovered the places that he kind of had lost. He still passed Norris either way, which
Yeah.
I found, like, when the car is good, but reliability is questionable, because they should be able to not face these issues. But there's always something with these Mercedes engines.
You can't really blame Mercedes, at least for Russell, because his was just a tire
Yeah,
puncture.
well, that's fair.
When it comes to Antonelli, I think he went over the curb maybe a little bit too aggressively, and it broke part of the front wing. So that's why when he came in, they ripped off the broken
The
bit and
front wing.
sent him out again.
But then he said he was. I think there was so much going on with him. I
I think
couldn't
it's
hear
something to
because
do with the steering.
he said a
Yeah,
suspicion. Then he said the windshield, and I was like, wait, like, what? I'm
yeah, there
hearing
was a
too
lot of
many.
things going
There was
on.
something they said he should park the car. He said no, he's gonna finish the race. Then now he has to park the car. But then he said no, he would take the last point, and he did. And I was like, wait, what is going? There is always something with the Mercedes. When it's good, it's good. Don't get me wrong. But are they able to win the championship if there's always going to be some sort of issue with them?
Yeah, they're so far ahead of everyone else that what's everyone else really gonna do? Yes,
You
they're
do
gonna have a
realize that
weekend or 2 weekends that they're
between
not great,
Antonelli and Lewis, it's only 32 points. He can a reliability issue like that can happen again, and
and
if
then it would
Lewis
be
is in the,
7.
it will be seven. We have a lot of races to go. He It can only take him being out of two races to lose the championship. 32
Yes,
points
but then Antonelli is
is not a
still
lot.
is not a lot, but then Antonelli is has still got so much pace compared to
No, no,
everyone
that's what I'm
else
saying. That in
that
terms of the reliability, if these things are going to continue happen, and he's going to miss, like, have a DNF, it could cost. That's what I'm saying. It's not about the pace. If the car is good, the car is good. But if you're going to constantly have reliability issues, it could cost you the championship. If we're being very real, because it will only take him missing two races or missing one race, and then because of a reliability issue or some sort of issue, he finishes out of the points, and then he's
true,
out of the championship, or not even out of it, but he loses the lead.
true. But I do think that the Ferrari car needs to be just a little bit closer to the Mercedes for that to really become a threat. I feel like the
In
Mercedes are
terms of
still,
points or in terms of the distance.
bro, in terms of um well performance, because
No,
I
that's what I'm
think
saying. You see, well, if you take the Mercedes out, I think the next best team at the moment is the Ferraris.
oh
Then
easily.
that's what I'm saying. So if the Mercedes are out because of reliability, like they have because it's not just Antonelli. George has had his few DNFs because of these issues. If they And now the points between George and Lewis is only four. That happened. Lewis should have been second. If under the safety car they didn't stop that Ferrari shitty strategy, he would have been the one who is ahead of George. Now, if it's only 4 points and a reliability issue happens, Lewis was able to overtake George in the points because of set issues. And 32 is not a lot, if we're being honest. That's what I'm saying. If there's a reliability issue and they are out of the point, I'm not even talking about performance, because with performance, Mercedes definitely is the top. But there's only so much you can do with performance if your reliability is not good. I think with Charles, he's had two DNFs in all the races. Lewis has not had any issues with that. Whereas with both Mercedes, they've had issues with that. And with Charles, a few of them have been because of braking issues, him going too hard. It's not a reliability issue. But
Yeah.
Mercedes, on the other hand, that is the issue. So that's what I'm saying. If that can't be fixed, or they can't do something about it, it will cost them the championship, not performance, reliability.
Maybe. I guess it will be very fun, very interesting